I'll officially kick us off, man. So this is
Okay.
officially episode 24, the Kobe episode of Manifest
Woohoo!
Mondays, man.
Yes, sir.
And today we have a very special guest in the building right now, man. We got my man, the drummer extraordinaire, man. Hailing right now, based in
Oh
Las
man.
Vegas, man. I asked him for a bio, but he didn't get it over to me, man.
Oh girl. You
But
know
shout
what? You
out
know
to my
what?
man, Drum Nasty, man. I
Yeah.
promise you, this is one of the best drummers I've ever seen in my life, and that's bar none, man.
Wow. Wow.
This is a really dope dude, and he's really as solid on the drums as he is in real life, man.
Thank
So,
you, man.
I just want to give a big shout out for joining us, man. Shout out to my man Bunny Brooks, aka Drum Nasty.
Shout out to
What's
that
going on,
Hey,
brother?
good,
shout out to
good,
Hey,
good, good, good. Thank you for that, man. Thank you,
hey,
thank you.
thanks for
Nah,
being on, bro. Thanks for
Yeah,
being on.
yeah, for
nah,
sure.
for sure, brother. For sure, bro. So
I'm
we kind of wanted to just kind of go through your journey a little bit, man, and just have you kind of walk us through some of the like you said, a lot of people don't get to see the behind the scenes or what it actually looks like. My bad. Can you hear me? Can you
Yeah,
hear
we
me
can
oh
now?
hear
yeah,
you.
yeah, I get it.
Okay, yeah, my bad. A lot of people don't get to see what that behind the scenes of like actual street performing looks like, right? Like a lot of people don't get to see that world, man. And we got like a glimpse of it. I get to see it a lot with Ray. But I want to kind of go through your journey starting from the beginning though, man. So, just starting off, bro, tell us a little bit about yourself for the people that don't know you
Mhm.
and how you got into drumming, man.
Well, I'll try to give you guys the backstory the best way I could. So I started, like at the age of three,
Oh, wow.
playing.
Sheesh.
I was born into like a musical family. I was lucky to be born into a musical family, and we can't control what we're born into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can only just move how it moves. You know what I'm saying? And so my dad, he played bass guitar. He played for a lot of cats like the Allman Brothers. He had he did a side record with Jimi Hendrix that he didn't
Crazy.
really talk about as much. Um, he did a lot of studio recording stuff and everything in Colorado for a lot of huge bands out
Oh,
there
wow.
and
That's dope.
everything. So yeah, he was a front man. My dad was a leader, in his time of the 60s and the 70s and everything, traveling and all that stuff. So it started with him, and being in the industry. And I didn't find out none of this stuff until like way later on, in my life after he passed and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
from a lot of his friends and people that he worked with and everything, he kept that side of the industry away from me because he had a it had a negative effect on him,
Mm.
in a lot of ways and aspects. So with me, I was sheltered, and I'm not saying like I was raised in the hood, you know what I'm saying? I was like you talking about LA, South Central, like I was raised in the heart of it, man, but my parents tried their best to protect and, keep me sheltered as much as possible from all that. And
Yeah.
music kept me out of a lot of trouble. So like I said, being raised from being little, I was just exposed to different musical settings and everything,
Right.
So, and it wasn't a lot. Like it wasn't a lot. Like my dad could take me everywhere. It wasn't like that, what I'm saying, because he had his own battles and things that he was dealing with. But when I got to go, I like embellished everything that I could when I got to see concerts and hang with him and when he played with Victory Outreach, which was a program that he got into for drug and alcohol abuse and everything. So if you know about that, some people they have issues in that area, but they provide like another world of a home to those people and everything. So I was able to go see him and do his concerts and stuff and everything and those shows while he was becoming sober and all that stuff and everything. And
Mm.
I got to meet a lot of the musicians. And dude, I was small. I was like down here, man. I'm looking up and I'm just seeing the drummers and the guitar players and all that stuff. So it was music was given to me as it was given.
Right.
That's the best way I can put it. And um, as I got older, um, church church
Mm.
played a big part. I you know what, man, I'm gonna say this because everybody has different beliefs, and everything. But if it wasn't for the church, like I wouldn't be who I am today. You know what I'm saying? I learned so much. I used to sit, um, and I remember I used to sit in this place called the Kenneth Hagin Auditorium, at this church called Christian Center. It's like in the heart of LA, CCC. And I would sit there and just watch the music department, go wild and everything. And I wasn't involved. I wasn't skilled enough, but I would just listen. And to me, being a musician, I feel like 75% of being a musician is just listening. You know what I'm saying? It's like what you listen to, and you don't realize those waves are going through, and it's really affecting the your psychosis, and it's affecting you as a person, and it's literally building you, and you don't realize it,
Yeah.
And so over time, you start realizing, dang, this certain song that I was listening to when I was a kid, like that's like clockwork to me. I can play that backwards, forward, all that stuff and everything. I wasn't even trying to listen to it like that,
Right.
but because I was in that environment, I've always learned that you're a product of your environment. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So because of that, I can be able to regurgitate a lot of those things, and I would be in a position to be ready, for things in my future and everything. So my child life, man, it was complicated, but I made it through, you know what I'm saying, and I was able to uh really just take in what I was learning over time. I went through a period from the ages of 10 and 13 where I wanted to quit music, and I was like, this sucks, I want to just do producing and everything. When you're at
You
that
said between
early
10
stage,
and 13?
10 and 13.
That's where
Yeah, I didn't.
most people start. You was already got to you had already put so much work in that you was almost ready to quit by that point,
Yeah,
huh?
it was just a simple fact that I learned everything that I could learn in the environment that I was. I wasn't being exposed to different environments. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So um, sometimes we get caught into, and it's not our faults. I think you know what you know is what you know, but there's a world of things that you don't know. And being a human being, and how our minds are made, we're made to learn. We're made to constantly learn until our time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Our
Yeah.
time is to go.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
constantly learn. So I wasn't in too many environments where I just saw a lot of the same thing over and
Yeah.
over and over again. So
Makes
if I got exposed to something else, I was on it. I was like, oh, okay, I'm in the Latin community. You know what I'm saying? What
yeah,
is
yeah,
this? What
yeah.
type of music is this? Oh, snap. It's like da 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 ding 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 ding. I'm like, ooh, what is that? What is that? Cowbell triangle? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of
Yeah.
a marimba? You know, like
Shout to
what is
marimbas.
that? Yeah, shaka, exactly, bro. so like when I got exposed, bro, like I took it serious, and um I wanted to endow myself into different things as I learned and everything. So what I noticed is over time, I feel like God started sending certain people in my life. You know what I'm saying? People from different backgrounds, and it was no judgment at all whatsoever. It was just people from different backgrounds that were meant to come in my life, and they were able to show me a different way, a different style. This allowed me to embrace other cultures. This allowed me to see, to expand my mind and everything, But when I was talking about the church earlier, just to get back to that, what I'm saying is the church was my foundation and everything,
Hmm.
and a lot of what I can say over time is I learned how to tap in. So sometimes, like when I'm playing, I'm taking my glasses off for this one.
Yeah, come on, man. Hey,
So
you see the
sometimes,
passion? You see
hold
the
on.
passion when you gotta take the glasses off and take a sip before we get this off.
All right. So I got accustomed to just like because sometimes I don't want to look at people when I'm playing. Sometimes you see people's faces, and some people look sad. You see some people that are happy, and then you see some people that are just angry. You're just like,
Yeah.
dude, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's not okay to take those things personal. Sometimes some people's angry faces say happy face. You know, sometimes in their mind they like, dang, he nasty, and they just
Yeah.
look like this. You know, like, and
Yeah.
it's not what you're thinking. It's not what you're, you know, what's the word? It's not what you're taking in a sense. You know, it's a whole different effect. So I would just put my head down sometimes, and I would just learn how to play, so I didn't have to look at them. So I learned how to play with my eyes closed, and I would just find everything,
Mm.
and I just do this. You know what I'm saying? And I did that on purpose because I just didn't want to deal with what I was dealing
Right.
with. But it was a personal thing that I had to get through and everything.
Yeah.
Because what I realized is I had stage fright. What I
Right.
realized is, you know, I would always wonder what people were thinking about me, you know, when I was playing, and
Right.
am I doing it correctly? Does it sound good?
Hmm.
Does it not sound good? You
Right.
know, like I'm dealing with that in my mind, and I'm like, okay, dude, just chill, man. Just play the music, you know, have fun, like let go. And what I realize is that when you let go and you let God, you know what I'm saying, spiritually take over, dude, it's nothing like that. And that's what the foundation of the church, it not so much it taught me, but I was able to catch it. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
you can learn a lot of stuff in church,
Right.
but are you catching the experience? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people they don't catch the experience, which for me it was like the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? So, and not to get like religious or anything like that, but just talking about my experience, man. You know, there'll be times, man, like I would tap in, and a lot of people don't understand it because um, and not like I said, not to get religious or anything like that, but a lot of people don't understand that there is a force that is greater than you, that is powerful. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That is out there, that has your best interest and everything, and will drive you to the max. It will drive you further than what you can ever know, and allow you to do things that you've never done. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best way I could put it without confusing people, because sometimes people, everybody got different beliefs and stuff and everything. So people are like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But it's you got to experience. It's
Right.
an experience. You know what I'm saying? So and you have to give the invitation in order to experience, and that's how God works. He God is such a gentleman. He's the gents of all gents, of all of us, right? And he's like, look, I'm not gonna come in unless you allow me to come in.
Right.
I'll stay over here and you be over there,
Right.
although I created you. But hey man, it's your life. You got free will. You do what you do. But when you're ready for me,
I'll
it's
show up.
over. It's
Right.
over. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting it in my way of
Yeah.
so people can understand. But yeah, man. So that's what I'm saying. As far as the church, that is my foundation, and I gotta give credit, praise to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and when I say the Most High, I believe that Jesus is Lord. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to profess that and claim that. You know what I'm saying? Not to offend anybody else or
Right.
whatever. If you're offended, oh well. You know what I'm saying? That's a personal problem, not
Right.
my problem. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But God is good, man. You know what I'm saying? And all I can do is just show it through my life and what He does through me, and
Right.
when He takes over. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So I will always profess His name. And a lot of people profess the devil all the time on these award
Right.
shows and stuff. And
Right.
they all out and crazy with it. And then people going next and like, man, I can't deal with this and da 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 da. So why not profess the goodness? You know what I'm saying, of God? And like I said, not trying to change the whole subject, but I just want y'all to know like where my mind is,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how grateful,
Right.
how much gratitude that I have for this art form and everything. So
That's beautiful.
two things. So first, thank you. We definitely appreciate sharing that, and
Mm-hmm.
secondly, thank you for also sharing your truth. There's nothing. You don't ever have to apologize for speaking your truth. Like there's
Right.
nothing wrong with it. So this is the space where you should feel welcome to profess whatever thoughts you have. Like as long as they're not offending. Like you're not blatantly out here like all right.
Right. Right.
Outside of that, now we definitely appreciate you sharing. There's one thing that you touched on that I did want to circle back on. You mentioned stage fright. That's something that I think a lot of creative,
Right.
uh, especially musicians, right?
Yeah.
You probably at some point in your life. Is that something that you think you still deal with to this day? Like as far as stage fright or nerves or like whatever that may look like.
All right. So if I was to give it a scale from like 1 to 10, um, it used to be a 10
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger. Now it's more like a 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very confident,
Right.
with what I do. The only time
Yeah.
I have like a little stage fright is if I get on stage and there's something I'm trying that's brand new
Yeah,
and I don't know what I'm doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
And so
Right.
now I feel like I'm practicing up there and I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to just deliver.
yeah.
But
Right.
sometimes you sometimes you just gotta go for it.
You just gotta
You just
go for it.
gotta, hey man, you gotta risk
You
it for
just
the biscuit. You know what
you
I'm
just
Right.
gotta
Risk it for the
saying? You
biscuit.
gotta risk it for the biscuit, man.
right, 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 right.
I mean,
So,
Vegas, when we were in Vegas, I wasn't even sure how it all was gonna come together. I'm not sure like how it was all gonna work,
yeah,
but it ended up coming together like a well-oiled machine.
it
It's just
did.
the
It did.
everybody one another and whatnot.
Hmm.
Sometimes, to your point, sometimes you can only prepare so much, and we've obviously prepared in our crafts, in our own rights, for years.
Right.
So this
Right.
we're new to, but like being in this space like where you're new, collaborating with new people and getting a feel for things. Sometimes
Hmm.
things just like I do believe in divine power, and I think that like what we experienced over that weekend was very divine, and it just like ended up coming together, and it's just that is the beauty of music,
Right.
right? Music is everything.
Right.
It truly is, and it
It's
was it was it was really
everything.
dope, man.
Yeah. No, no, for real, for real. And I mean, I think, like, like you were saying, like just the fact that like we didn't know exactly how everything was going to work. It was like, hey, we have a skeleton of an outline of, okay, we're gonna hit this, we gonna go to this spot, hit that spot, and um, hit the game. So it was
Hmm.
kind of like everything, and that's one thing I definitely want to touch on with like street performing
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I feel like what a lot of people don't know when it comes to the history of street performing is, it's strictly off of pure faith, man. When you go out, you don't there's no check that's saying, hey, dude, you're going to make
Yeah.
$500 tonight.
Or
You know what
one,
I'm saying? If you show
or
up,
$1,
if or
Yeah,
$1,
or
if you
or
show up,
$1,
yeah,
or any money. Yeah.
there's no check, man. There's no check at all. So it's like, you know, when you go to a spot, and this is the thing that, I mean, Ray knows this.
Yeah.
You go to a spot and it's like, all right, you got to check yourself. You know that song, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
yeah,
Right.
Check yourself
Come
before
on,
you
man.
wreck yourself.
Right.
Like that's real. And so it's to a point for me now that if I'm not right, I won't perform.
Hmm.
hmm
Period, point blank. I would take my butt home, bro.
yeah.
Like straight
Yeah.
up. That's how serious I am about doing this when I go out and do a
Right.
street performance and everything. And then sometimes like I'll do like a quick meditation. So I have like a meditation track that I play for probably about 2-3 minutes. And while I'm setting up, it's getting me going. And sometimes I
Oh,
get
that's
a
fire.
crowd off of that, and people just pull up, and they're just like, "Oh my God, what is about to happen here? This looks interesting." Wow, he's playing the stuff that I go to bed to. You know what I'm saying? Or the stuff that people usually shouldn't play out here. This is interesting. It's really thinking outside of the box. But for me, it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what works
Yeah.
for me
Right.
Yeah.
for me to get in tune, and I'm able to say, because honestly, I have to report to me first before I start attending to everybody else. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
That's a
So
fact.
that's why I do what I do. But like I was saying about the money situation, you know, we're strictly going out there on
Yeah.
faith, man. Complete faith.
Every night.
I every night. And I've been in situations, man. I remember one time, I was performing on Fremont Street Experience. So that's like old Las Vegas, further out,
Right.
about like 20 minutes away from the original, well, not the original strip. That is the original strip, but
Yeah, yeah.
the new strip.
Right.
So I remember I went out one day and I made nothing. And
How
I
long?
played
How long was you out there?
about 4 hours.
Wow.
I was
Sheesh.
out,
Not
out there
not a
for
dollar.
not $1, man.
Sheesh.
I had a lot of people looking. They
Yeah.
were just like, "Oh, you're good. Bye." Ew.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, you are good. Good job, buddy. Good job. Like that. It's crazy because you know, for me with my resume and when I have people do that, it's so humbling because I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, if I could tell you where I've played and who
Right.
I've played for, what
Yeah.
I've
Hmm.
done,
Yeah.
and everything, it'll be a whole different
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a documentary of a violinist. He sells out shows in New York, and this guy they did a study, and they were like, we're going to show how people show up for the glitz and the glamour, right, of a concert of an artist. We're going to take the same artist that these people love and respect in his own home and put him down in the subways. So that's what they did. They put him down there just to see how people will react. And he's killing it on the violin, killing it. And nobody really knew who he was because they dressed him up in like homeless
Right.
clothes and all that stuff and everything. Killing
Yeah.
it. People barely stop for him.
Yeah. Yep.
Barely.
And to your point, like I'm glad that you mentioned that because I genuinely believe most people
Mm-hmm.
just from a surface level, most people support what's popular, not what's good.
Right.
Right.
And I'm glad because
Yeah.
when you take this exact artist, this violinist, when he's in his element, right, where he's
Right.
on stage, where they know he's somebody, right? You
Right.
know, like whatever theater that he's selling out, they know him. Like it's just like okay, like
Right.
but when no one knows you, you take that piece of it out of there. Like
Right.
Right.
that's it's not like anything like changed. Like the only thing that changed is the venue, right?
Right.
It's just
Right.
where you're playing, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something that's like one of the most when you have all these accolades and all these things that you accomplish, it's like we could talk about all day about like the hands we've shaken and
Yeah.
accomplished and stuff like that, and it's still just like 99.9% of the world still doesn't know us, like, and that's the
Right.
crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just that's yeah, that's the reality of being a musician.
Yeah. And just to
Fact.
touch on what you were saying, um, you know, that same guy went to go do a sold out show that same night.
That's why.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Sold out show that same night.
Same
They
city,
had him down there
probably. Yeah.
in the same city, New York. Yeah, New York City. And now New York City is prime time
Right.
for street performing. Like that is one of the originator. Well, not sorry, I'm saying it incorrectly. Is one of the original places where street performing blew up
Right.
in a
Yeah.
sense. Definitely for drummers, like bucket drummers,
Right.
Hmm.
stuff like that. Break dancing. If you ever see like break dance crews and all that stuff, man, they own the streets, man. You know,
Right.
they be killing it, dude. You know, as far as all the other stuff, and, you know, what they make, all that stuff, it's ridiculous. The numbers are crazy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Um, but yeah, man, when I saw that study, man, it really it made me feel for him
Hmm.
in a
Hmm.
sense, and I said, dang, I know exactly what that feels
Right.
like. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And it encouraged me because at the end of the day, you know, you have to report back to you.
Yeah.
At the end
Facts.
of the day, if, like I'll put let's see, like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he's a name, right?
Yeah.
But once he leaves this earth, people may talk about him, but he's not going to be a factor anymore because he's not in the limelight.
Right.
Hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If you look at Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson's legacy living on. You know what I'm saying? It still lives on to
Yeah.
this day. But he's not in the limelight. He's not the factor
Yeah.
that
Right.
Right.
people are, oh my
Yeah.
God, let's go see Michael Jackson.
Right.
You know,
Right.
let's try to make up something or no. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we all have a limited amount of time to,
Yep.
you know, do our thing, to shine. And I think the most important thing is to enjoy the process.
Right.
And that was something that I was not doing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't,
Absolutely.
it became a job to me to street perform.
Yeah.
You know, I took care of my family off of it. Um, you know, made a lot of money off of it. Some if I told people what I was able to make off of that, it would blow their minds. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to push that out there
Right.
or
Nah,
what's the
I want
word?
to come back to that a little bit later though,
Yeah.
because I actually do want to attack that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not maybe
Yeah.
not your direct pockets,
Hmm.
but what can be made through street performance. I
Right.
want to touch
Right.
back on that in a little bit later, just because there is a stigma that people don't really see what's
Right.
possible,
Yeah.
Right.
right? Um,
Hmm.
and just to kind of, to be specific, I know some street performers make more than the people that walk past them and think that they don't make
Yeah.
anything.
Right.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like more
Right.
than a lot of
Right.
them too. You
Right.
know, a lot of those
And
people that walk by, yeah. So,
and there are people that know that performers make more and they won't give their money to them.
Mm.
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 Ah, yeah. So it's kind of
There
like
there
they kind
there
of know that.
they yeah,
Yeah,
there's another side of the coin when
Yeah.
it comes
yeah,
to that.
Right.
yeah.
Trust
I
me.
wanted to ask you real
Oh,
quick,
go ahead.
man, real
Hmm.
quick, man, because you touched on a bunch of things that that had my mind moving, and the first thing that I caught, and I had the same conversation with Ray about, is like getting over that stage fright, what like Z was talking
Hmm.
about. The
Right.
cool thing about what you and Ray do, being that it's your actual job to street perform,
Hmm.
you guys practice more than anybody I know. Anybody that says they want to do music, they don't practice more than y'all because y'all do it for a
Yeah.
living.
Right.
Right.
Street performing,
Right.
y'all do it every day. So if somebody told me you was a drummer or a rapper or whatever, and you
Hmm.
rap 2 times a week, you can never beat Ray. You can, if you play 2 times a week, you could never beat
Yeah.
you
Facts.
because
Right.
they
Right.
practice more than anybody I know. So I wanted to, start there. But what I really wanted to connect it to is like, how did you get into street performing? You know
Right.
what I mean?
All right. All right.
Right.
So this is good. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah,
I got to give a shout out to Dari. This guy, his name is Darian Mobasaki. He was on Steve Harvey's Big Time show back in the day when Steve
Right.
Harvey was doing that. Big dude, like he's like 6 foot. He's like 6'4" or 5", and he plays buckets. I've never seen a tall dude that huge killing on buckets like New
yeah,
York style. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, um, yeah, he. So what happened was I was with my church at the time. I was used to play for this church called City of Praise, in Hollywood, and we all went to go see. I think it was like Passion of the Christ or something like that, somewhere around. I don't know if it was that movie or another movie. Um, but we were in Sherman Oaks, and I saw these two hitters literally by the mall area doing their thing. It was a drum set player and a bucket player. So Darian was the bucket player, and then this other guy who was playing drums. So immediately when I hear that, I'm going to be pulled towards it. Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah.
Oh yeah.
gravitate.
You're a
If I hear
drummer. It's
drums,
like, yeah,
I'm going instantly. I'm going to gravitate towards it. I'm going to like that. I'm going
yeah,
to be like, "Yo, what's good?" So they were on the side doing the thing, and they pulled a little crowd. It wasn't like huge or anything, but
Right.
the people that I was with, they were looking at me like, "You gonna hop on?" And I'm like, "Bruh,"
Mm.
like
yeah,
I'm not trying to mess up their stuff.
Right.
So what happened was I asked the guy on the drums. I said, "Hey man, is it okay if I could play with your friend on the buckets? I've never played with a bucket player before." He told me no. So I said, "Okay, all right, cool. Like no, it's cool. Like
yeah, yeah. Like
I'm
it's
not
my,
gonna push it."
yeah,
So the guy, Darian, he saw me about to leave, and he was like, "Hey man," he said, "Come here." He was like, "You play drums?" And I said, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, that's cool." He was like, "This is my partner." and he introduced me to the drummer. I said, yeah, I already met him, but he,
Right.
you know, he didn't want me to play. So he was like,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
don't
yeah.
worry about that. He said it's all good. So the guy, Darian talked to the guy. He said, hey man, let me see what this guy can do. You know what I'm saying? And he got a little upset. So he ended up going to the bathroom in the movie
Yeah.
theater, and
Yeah.
I hopped on the drums, and
I
we
know he was
we
like,
did a. I know, no,
Like,
he was mad. He was very very mad, and
Right.
so I got on drums, and I think I'm trying to remember. I think he made up this beat. It was like boom cat boom boom cat boom cat boom boom cat boom boom cat boom cat on the bucket, and that's
yeah,
hard to do. Like what I'm doing with my mouth, it's a
yeah,
lot more it's more intricate in what he's doing. And
yeah,
so I heard the beat, and I'm like, boom, cat, boom, cat, boom, cat, boom, cat, boom,
yeah.
cat, boom, cat, cat.
Come on,
You
man.
know, it was just natural. So all of a sudden, he's like, oh shit, oh damn, okay, and that was that. So he got my number after that, and I didn't know that was going to be like my next movement and everything. So he was like, hey man, and he called me he called me like the next day, and he was like, look man, my drummer's a little wishy-washy. Can you join me to do I think it was some type of, I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was a game or something like that, like a baseball or football game or something like that. And he gave me the ropes of that. Now for me, I'm scared. I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
like, hold on 1 second. Like, you want me to play with you at a baseball game? I've never done this before. You know, I'm playing in front of the public people.
Right.
That's
yeah,
different.
yeah.
Like I can play
Just
on
going out
stage,
there. They
or
didn't
I can
come for
play.
you.
They right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
different when people come for you, because
yeah,
they have they have this God mode expectation of you that's going to say, hey, he's going to deliver this way. I'm familiarized with this person,
mm,
but to
right.
go in front of people that are not familiarized with you, that is scary, bro.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
It is.
absolutely.
That's a fact.
If any performer, I feel like this. If you ever interview anybody else and they tell you otherwise,
The
cap, bro,
capping.
they
I don't even think
capping,
they
man.
could tell me that. I wouldn't believe it
They
because
Right.
capping.
it's hard. Like just to walk in the middle of the street and just say something to everybody is
Right.
a
Public
little
speaking
nerve wracking.
is
But to
hard,
just
yeah.
start perform public speaking is in general is
Yeah, it's one of the
just to
hardest
go out
things.
there and just start performing.
Yeah,
Just
Right.
whoever's there,
Yeah.
you
mhm,
can't tell me that ain't nerve. Come on, man.
yeah,
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So, um, I went ahead and said, okay, cool, man. Let me try this out and just go with the flow, you know. And our stuff wasn't tight, but you know, I was already a professional at that time, so
Right.
I knew how to like sink in. And that's one thing I've always been, I got really good at was just really finding the groove and being able to lay it in the pocket. That's what we call it. So it's
Right.
like once you hear the 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, boom, cat, the boom, cat, the boom, cat, the boom, cat, the boom, cat. And you got the other person going da 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 do 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 da 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 da. So you got that going on while I'm laying the groove. The cat boom, the boom, cat, the boom, and it makes it a collective unit,
Yeah,
you
Right.
know, and
yeah,
and everything it just comes over right, and it feels good, you know what I'm saying? And I've learned how to do that. So when he was like, hey, can you do this with me, for that first time, it came natural. And
hmm,
he knew
Right.
that. He knew that
Right.
about me. I didn't know, because it was just like, okay, I'm looking at everything else, and I'm like, okay. But once I was able to find that spot with him, it all worked out.
Yeah.
You know. Now I used to argue with him all the time, because he'd be like, hey man, you know, we like, man, we gonna have to hop the fence on this situation. You know, so we got to throw the bass drum over, or you know, we gonna have to talk to these cops over here and everything. Oh, that's the worst. Oh, that's the worst. That was the worst.
Yeah.
You got to go speak to security officers, all that stuff and
yeah,
everything, to get clearance,
yeah,
and then know the law to
yeah,
make
Oh.
sure that they're not abusing their
Right.
power
Right.
on you.
That's it.
You
Yeah.
know, so now
ah,
you got to go toe to toe with them. Be like, no,
Right.
the law says this, and you know, this is freedom of expression, You
Right.
know, this goes against my First Amendment
Right.
rights. You got to know that stuff. If you don't know that stuff, they're gonna run you around,
Yeah.
man. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Just to get
Yeah.
you out. You
Right.
Yeah.
know, so I had to learn that
Yeah.
because I was like Dari and like, man, what are you doing? He was like, dude, don't worry about it. I got this, and he got it all the time. He took care of everything all the time. But for me, I was he was a mentor to me,
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
know, and I was able to just see exactly what he was doing. Exactly, like it was being instilled. Even though I was argumentative and I was being a hard ass sometimes, you know,
Right.
he was able. He kept his confidence in his cool,
Yeah.
and he maintained, and he was what's the word, consistent, the most, one of the most consistent people that I know
Yeah.
with how he handled things.
Yeah.
And so needless that I know, that was being instilled into me, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And so that's what helped build me. And you know, I and it was crazy, man, because you know he didn't really believe in, you know, God and, you know, the gospel and all that stuff and everything. You know, he was more into you know, quantum physics and
Right.
everything, and you know, the universe and all those things. You know, which I don't deny that, but I didn't understand that at the time, so my mind was closed, and so I would argue with this dude all the time. Like we would just go at it was ridiculous, man. But I look back at it and I laugh at it because, like, I mean, we're good friends, and you know, I thank God for growth. You know, I thank God for expanding my mind, you know what I'm saying, in so many ways, because the stuff I used to do, I don't do that anymore. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Right.
saying? I'm in a great place, man, you know what I'm saying, of expansion and understanding. And I'm not trying to like go into that, but I'm just want to give y'all kind of like the
Right.
full experience of what I've had to deal with drumming, and what just drumming has taught me, traveling,
Right.
you know, uh, being linked up with the. And sometimes, man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. God will put you with people that you don't like. He will put you with people that you don't understand. And sometimes your blessings is in those people that you don't like and that you don't understand sometimes. Because the
True.
thing is that you are a pre-version of the version that you're trying to become.
Right.
And that pre-version doesn't understand, and we resist what we don't understand.
Hmm.
We all do. We,
Right.
you know, when it, and that's the world, man. You know,
Facts.
every people
True.
hate on what they don't understand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it happens all the time until they just get enough of it, and they say, "Man, I'm tired of this person. I'm
Right.
tired of this dude. Why he sing like that? Why he look like that? Why he play like that?" It just and all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, a month later, maybe a year later, I like that dude. He dope.
Fact. It's true.
I'm just
That's
like,
human nature.
it's
That's
human
a fact.
Yeah.
nature,
Yeah.
and then and this is why I take no offense to what anybody says to me ever or anymore. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or how they feel and blah 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 blah. I've been called a lot of things.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've been I've been humiliated. You know what I'm saying? Doing this, just street performing
Right.
alone. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ultimately. And it has built my character. It has made me strong, you
Hmm.
know, and what I was scared of and what I was resisting was actually a blessing for me. You know what I'm saying? And it made me better. It made me, I don't know how many times I can say it, but
Right.
it made me better, man.
Right.
You know, as a person, as a father,
Right.
um, to help me believe in myself. And I think that's something that
Yeah.
we all should really pay attention to,
Right.
is that we have to constantly work on us and our confidence and knowing who we are and believing who we are as we get to know more about ourselves,
Yeah.
and knowing that, you know, you
Right.
can succeed, like you
Right.
can be whatever that you want to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's a different journey from what everybody else is, but that's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be your story. This
Right.
Yeah.
is your story. Raymond, like, this is your story, bro. DJ, it's your
Hmm.
story. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? What's your? I'm sorry, bro. What's your name?
Diamond.
Diamond.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you're good.
I'm terrible.
He's,
I'm horrible.
he's,
I'm working on that whole thing with names. So
He's a
I
diamond
I
member.
got you. I got
he's
you.
a diamond.
Diamond. Diamond member. Oh yeah. My
He's the
bad.
original diamond member, you
The original
know.
diamond member. I heard Ray was mentioning you the other day. So okay, that makes sense. That's what he was
Yeah.
talking about. He was talking about me. Okay.
So
But
you mentioned something earlier that I wanted to circle back on, because I think it's just such a obviously an interesting
Right.
lifestyle to be submerged in that and
mhm,
being on the inside of things. When it comes to, you mentioned like policing and like
Right.
knowing your stuff, right? Knowing the laws.
yeah.
What does that look like? Like do certain places require permits? Like what does that look like on the back end of things in order to flourish as a street performer?
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is, if you want to flourish as a street performer, um, it's important that whatever city that you're going to go to, you want to learn the law. So they have this thing called the assessor's map.
Mhm.
That's the first thing that you need to look at. The assessor's map breaks down the whole city, what's public, what's private,
Right.
Mm.
what's public, what's private. There's a line everywhere, bro, and across the whole United States,
It's in every
there's lines.
city. Yeah, this is in every
Right.
city. There's lines like
Every
that.
city.
Okay.
There is
Right.
no city that there's no city that you can. I want to say this correctly. There is okay. Every city in
Mhm.
America you can perform. You just got to know your
Yeah,
rights. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You got to know where the public and the private lines are. Businesses are always going to try to push their card every single time. The thing how it works is there is a specific gray area, and everybody, and this is just America, man,
Right.
and this is something I had to learn. But we, we all have rights, and sometimes our rights disagree
Right.
with each other's rights, right?
True.
So you have the gray area. So say if I'm set up in public area, but there's a business right next to me, and they're like, "Sir, you're just too loud." Oh my God, I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to get a citizen's arrest on you and everything, and blah blah blah. They can do that. They have like by law, they
Right.
can do that. So what happens? The cops have to come. They have to honor that because that person is paying for their business
yeah.
there versus
Right.
me. I'm not paying, I'm not renting
Right.
that area. So if I'm disturbing the peace, okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So if I'm disturbing the peace, then that it's almost like they have a case against a mini case against me. So now I'm popping up as a red flag to the cops. But if I'm
Yeah.
explaining to the cops, hey man, this is freedom of speech and everything this goes against my First Amendment rights and everything, I can be here and everything. Now it turns into, okay, we're in a gray area, so now we need to find a common denominator
Yeah.
Right.
in this situation. So this is where if I can be an asshole, or I can say, okay, let me work with this
Right.
business. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I used to be that asshole. And I was like, because this is how I was trained.
Right.
And I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna just keep doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about your business and da 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 da. And it didn't get me in trouble like that, but it put me in a bad negative space of energy. And that's one thing I definitely want to touch on is energy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because being a performer, you have to learn energy when it's not good, when it's good. Are you contributing good energy to a spot,
Right.
or are you contributing bad negative energy to a
Yeah.
spot? It
Yeah.
makes a difference because that's what you're going to attract. So when it comes, oh, sweet, thank you. Okay, so when it comes to dealing with that situation, man, I got better over time, and I say, you know what, this is not serving me
Right.
to keep going down this road of, okay, I'm just going to play on top, because these people that are working, like, they're working hard too. You know, they got a business too.
Right.
So why am I going to fight the cops when I'm going to fight them? How about I try to work out an agreement?
Right.
And
Yeah.
every time that I start working out agreements, it always worked better for me. I made more money.
Right.
I did great. Or sometimes they'll be like, hey, can you come play in front of my business? I
Right.
got this day. Can you do this gig? We'll pay you
Uh,
$300-400. You know what I'm saying? To
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you can make tips on top of that, because I
Cool.
appreciate you.
Right.
Thank you for respect. That this is where the common denominator comes in. This is where respect comes in.
Right.
This is where you say, okay, we all
Right.
win. We
Right.
win. We
Yeah.
can, we can all win.
Right.
Like,
It's true.
I never thought that in my
Yeah.
life before. When I started doing this, I'm thinking like, okay, I got to get mine. I got to get mine. I got to
Right.
get mine. I'm saying, um, even if it's taking food out of somebody else's mouth,
Right.
it don't matter to me. Oh man, I had to get out of that quick, and I did.
Yeah.
That's
Thank because there's a lot of people that are like that. You
right.
know, not
Absolutely.
they do not care, and this is not just street perform. This is everything, bro.
Yeah, this
Right.
is life.
They,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they would take your chair from under you, and when you sit down, you ain't got no
Yeah.
chair. You
Come on,
fall
man.
over.
That's crazy.
And guess
Yeah.
what? And guess what? And guess what?
Take your chair from me. It's true though. It's true. It's
Right,
ruthless out
right,
here. It's
right when you about to
fact.
sit
You
too. Right when you about to sit.
gonna shake somebody's hand and he came back down to sit down and drum and
Yeah,
said,
yeah, watch
Take
out.
your
Yeah,
chair.
watch
"Master,
out.
where'd my chair go?"
Right.
That's true. No, that's a really good point though. Like you just said, man. I feel like the way you talk to people, you can sometimes just like de-escalate a lot of situation. Most of the time, like you don't always have to go to law enforcement, but just
Right.
communication, coming with a person at peace, right? I feel like a lot of time peace mitigate a lot of issues we have. If only we can just learn and just like talk with one another, we can solve a lot of problems. But
Absolutely.
I was gonna ask you this though. So what's the transition like for you now? Like, what's the next step, the next chapter? Do you see yourself doing this in the next 4 or 5 years? Like, what's that looking
I,
like for
I, I
you?
love this question. Oh, bro. Thank you for that. Because I think about it every single day. Um, so I don't know if you guys saw the last gig that me and Ray did. It was at the Afro Ball for USC. And
Gala,
Yep.
USC Gala, right?
USC
Yep.
Gala, yeah. And that gig was amazing. I mean, we'll get the actual footage. The footage that I was able to show is off uh, of my friend's camera, so it didn't really do much justice. But dude, man, it was phenomenal. And I'll answer your question, but I just want to kind of give you a backstory
Right,
um, of that situation.
right,
Um, when we got the call to headline that situation, I was I was blown, man, because I've never headlined anything in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like this, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like headlining in an event of that stature, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
I had to give my bio, and my bad, Raymond, and I feel like
You good? You
I
good, man?
I'm sorry. I think I forgot, um, but I had to give them my bio of the stuff that I've done, and I don't pay attention to my bio like that. Like I don't, and I'm not saying like I'm careless,
right,
but to me, I'm so on the focus mode of, okay, what's next, what's next, what's next, that sometimes I don't look back and say, dang, I did X, Y, and Z, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we got introduced as the headline. Kyle, he's like part of the board of the Black Alumni Association, and he
Mm-hmm.
read everything, like all of our accomplishments, everything. And I sat there, I almost wanted to cry, bro. Like I literally was sitting back, and of course, they're revving us up, they're getting us pumped up and
right,
everything. But I wanted to sit there, and I was emotional, and I wanted to cry, man, because I was like, dude, I didn't. It just took me back of all the things of me working hard and the sacrifices that I've had to make to get to where I am now. And I said, this is a milestone right here. This is a checkpoint that's happening. And once we hit the stage, it was like boom, and it wasn't a thing of where it was like that I needed that to power me up.
Right.
It was more so of a thing of gratitude, man. I was so grateful. I was so grateful, man. And all I could do is sit there and just thank God, man. I was just sitting there like, thank you, Lord. Thank you,
Yeah.
God. You know, I'm straight up. But um, to answer your question, um, where that situation is leading, I'm seeing myself with the street performing and getting that off the streets and putting that on stage. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the main thing for the next 4 or 5 years is really marketing and branding
Right.
um, that because it's not something that's really accepted. People like it. It's like, oh, that's great. This is something cool and different, but it's not like a thing where it's like we gotta have you
Right.
guys, oh my God, or have me, in general, do this X, Y, and Z. So for me, I actually built like a whole new set and everything for this year, which I accomplished my goal, which
Right.
I'm really happy. I made a goal this year to create something new that would be exciting. It would bring all my worlds of music together and
Right.
everything, performing to my professional world of drumming and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and together. So I was able to make a drum kit that gave
Oh wow.
together. I'll send you guys pictures and stuff and everything so y'all can see it.
Right.
Um, but it's ridiculous, and now I can do clinics, I can do
Right.
shows, my own personal shows and
Yeah.
everything. Do trade shows,
Right.
and honestly, my goal is to like I'm being put in position to be a keynote speaker.
Right.
That's what
That's
I'm,
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm I know that the word of God is with me. I know that God lives in me, and I know that I can talk. You know what I'm saying? And when I say talk, I'm not just talking about just saying a bunch of nothing and everything, but like I got a word, I got a light in me. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I'm here to inspire people. I've been doing that since I was a kid, man. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing new.
Right.
It's it just got stronger over the years, and I've had to go through some
Yeah.
things. You know, when I say, you know what, I want to be a keynote speaker. I want to be able to travel the world and be able to share my gift and everything with people and show them that they can, you know, if you work hard, if you believe in yourself, all those things that you can attain anything.
Facts.
I always wanted to do that, but I didn't have my story wasn't built.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, like, I'm gonna tell you, man, in my 30s, because I'm 38, I'm putting that out there. I don't look 38, but I'm putting that out there. You know, but
I was
in
gonna
my
say 28.
28,
Yeah.
we'll go with that. You know what I'm saying?
For
But
real.
I'm gonna tell you, man, like my 30s was rough. It was my roughest years. You know what I'm saying? And God had to take me through from the mountaintop all the way to the lows, to ditch. I've been to hell and back already, and I've seen it. And that's not a place where I'm going ever again. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But
Nah.
he had to allow these things to happen to me, and I was protected just so I can see and build and become stronger.
Right.
And these tests we're put through is to make us stronger, is to make us wiser and everything. And that's why I had to go through those things. You don't have a story. Whose story you gonna tell? You gonna tell somebody else's story?
Right.
You go online and read somebody else's notes and stuff that they put together, or what they've gone through their life. Like a lot of people do that. I
Rappers
got a
be
lot of key.
rappers be
They
doing that.
they they. Uh,
Talk about someone else's problem, someone else's
Yeah. They
life.
whole life, like, bro, that's not even.
but
All
Like,
right.
what, bro?
it's not cool, man. Like have your story. Like your story, your process is
Right.
somebody. Your process is somebody's healing, bro.
Right.
You see what I'm
Your
saying?
process. Hold on, I'm gonna say that one more time because I don't think
Come
y'all
on.
getting it. I don't
For the
y'all
People
hear
in
me?
the back, man. For the people in the back, let them hear it, man.
Your process is somebody's healing, man.
Facts.
It
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
So you can't deny your process. Go through that shit. Go
Hmm.
through it
Right.
and watch what happens.
Hmm.
Pass your test. Get through it. Be grateful.
Yeah,
Gratitude is the key to go through every door.
absolutely.
Gratitude is the key. You're walking and you reach a door and it's locked. Gratitude
Yeah.
open the door,
Hmm.
every door. And you find yourself in a deeper level of gratitude, but sometimes your situations have deeper storms. Hello. Okay. And you're there at the door. It's a harder storm. Gratitude.
Right.
Gratitude. Find, and if you can't find that positive place, dig and find it. You know what I'm saying? It may be a needle in a haystack,
Yeah.
but it's there.
Right.
Yeah.
And once you find it, boom, you know. So to answer your question, um, for the next 4 to 5 years, I do see myself being a keynote speaker. I do see myself traveling the world, you
Right.
know, and being able to, um, being hired to share my gift,
Right.
um, rather if it's with Ray or without Ray, you know.
Right.
I'm and I'm mentioning Ray. Shout out to Ray. I don't know
Shout
if
out
you.
Ray.
Ray Williams.
Right.
It's his
Shout out Ray
phone.
Wimley.
His phone be dying every single time.
Every
But that,
time we talk, brother.
I'll be
Come on,
like,
man.
hey man, you know what I'm saying? Cool. Like I'll be like, okay, all right. His phone died. No, but um, just spreading a positive message,
Right.
man. Like the world. I'm gonna tell you, man. Like the world needs more musicians, more now than ever.
Right.
That really being positive and spreading that positive energy and everything out into the public, to the people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's and definitely the next generation. I mean, if we look at us, you know what I'm saying, and
Right.
what we, so a lot of the kids now, um, they don't really have direction, man. They don't have a lot of direction.
yeah.
Facts.
Yeah,
It's true.
They
Hmm.
they just don't.
Yeah.
Do
just
that.
don't.
They, they're, they're being misguided by parents that don't know who they are.
Right.
You know? And that's one of the generational curses and things that have continued to happen. And but you know, I feel like you know you are you can only affect who you're supposed to affect. Don't focus on the world. Focus on your bubble of energy. Focus on where God takes you.
Right.
You know, and you handle it little by little. I feel like some people, they feel like, oh, I got to take on the world and take on everybody. Dude, you're not that's not your job.
Right.
That's there. You know what I'm saying? You just be available to be used as a vessel
Right.
to plant seeds. Just plant seeds, bro.
Hmm.
Plant, that's all you got to do. All the other stuff, that's over and above your
Right.
pay rate.
Right.
Like it's over and above. Just plant those seeds,
Hmm.
you
Keep
know, and
planting seeds, brother.
watch it grow.
Johnny Appleseed.
Is there it is.
I love it. That's good.
Johnny.
No, I can definitely see you as a keynote speaker, man. I think you have what it takes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, your
Thank
story is very, your story is very inspiring, man. I love it.
thank
Yeah.
thank
And it's that's you bring up a good point. It takes people buy into something like what you're saying more when you have a story to share.
right.
Correct.
Like if you if you're preaching all of these things or like stating all these things
You
like
never been through anything.
what have you been through to like to
Right.
this, right? To any of what you're saying. And so I think it is important. Hanifa mentioned it earlier. She said there's no testimony without the
Right.
test. And the point you mentioned it earlier, that's a big point of going through your test, right?
Right.
Like you have to be battle tested in order to speak on that and to share those experiences with people who share similar experiences. And like you said, let it be someone else's healing. Like you sharing your story is gonna like allow someone to help theirs, right? Like they might be going through that exact same,
Right.
maybe not they might be going through something similar where they need to hear those words
Right.
of wisdom,
Mhm.
get them through a dark place, because we've all been there at some point in our lives and stuff like
Right.
that. So that's the power of music, you know, I'm gonna circle back to it again because you know we talked about it earlier, but music is everything, and it's very much so a spiritual connection. Like I think it's beyond just what we're hearing, what we're feeling. Like I think it truly, music is everything. It literally touches your soul. Like
Right.
it is something that runs very deep. So I think it is important to share that information and share your story, man. Like, you know, so I absolutely agree. I think in 4 to 5 years, you know, we'll be looking at the next keynote speaker. Welcome Bunny Brooks, aka Drum Nasty, to the building. You know, he will be
Come on, man.
Hey,
Dude,
hey, hey, man. You know what? You know what? It's crazy that you say that because, you know, I'm seeing things manifest little by little.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
you know, I definitely can see that. You know, I definitely can see, um, you know, me taking my experiences that I've learned and being able to utilize them, you know, in a bigger setting, you know, for, you know, millions of people. I'm not thousands, but millions. You know what I'm saying? Because like my dream is that big. It's always been big since I was a kid and everything. I just didn't know how my journey was going to be. I didn't know, you know, sometimes.
And how could, right? I think that's a better question. How could you know what your journey is going to look
Right.
like?
Sure.
Exactly. Because if it was shown to you, you know, if it was given to you, and you know, God was like, "Hey, which journey do you want to pick?" We 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 would get it wrong.
Right.
I guarantee you wouldn't have picked your journey
Yeah,
Right.
that
facts,
you've gone through right now. I
facts,
guarantee it. I guarantee it.
facts.
And
Yeah,
so we have to, you know, go through, and I'm talking about those days, man, where you just feel like, man, life is done, man. I don't want to deal with this no more.
Right.
Those days where you do want to check out, you know,
Right.
where your mental health is being put to the test, where you're like, I'm done.
Right.
You know, we've all had those days,
yeah.
and we don't talk about it like we should,
Right.
but but we've had those days, and we need to talk
Right.
about it, man. We need to, as definitely as men, you know,
Right.
not our ladies and our women, but as men, you know, we learn to suppress everything, you know, and we've learned, and that's just been a generational thing, you know.
Right.
So and I know that's a whole nother topic, but you know, it's something that I went through,
Hmm.
Right.
you know, and dealing with mental health and everything. So at the end of the day, you know, you want to get to a place where you're saying, okay, hey, you know what? I I can do this. I can pull through this.
Right.
And although things is dark, looking shitty, it looks ridiculous.
You cut out.
Hey, you cutting out, brother.
All right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
can you hear me
We can
now?
hear
Okay.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that means I got to put the charger on. Hold
Yeah,
on one sec.
Right.
I
boy
was,
about to Ray. That boy about to pull a Ray.
yeah.
Drop off. What happened?
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah,
That's
yeah, that you know, that's pretty much it in that area. You know what I'm saying?
no,
So,
that's good. I mean, that's true, bro. I feel like whenever you're going through something,
mhm.
you hate that process. You're like, why am I going through this? But after that, whatever specific episode is over, then you realize, you reflect on it, you're like, I'm glad that I went through this because this actually made me a better person. They
Right,
exposed a lot of things I didn't know about myself. But when you're going through that situation, man, you always think like, why me? Because right now, that's what I'm doing, right? Because I tore my meniscus playing soccer. And sometimes, like, why me? You know, like, but
Yeah.
now, because I'm going through
oh,
that process,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
looking back, I'm sure, fast forward, like, 6, 8 months from now, I'm going to reflect, you know what? Maybe that happened for a reason. But for
right,
right now, to be honest, I cannot find that reason. I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I was
Yeah.
like, where's it at?
right,
Why
Yeah.
did this happen? But now, but I know once this, episode is over, I'm gonna look back like, you know what? Maybe this happened for a reason. They like
right,
taught me something.
Yep.
But right now, I can't find that. And it's crazy
Yeah.
that whenever you're going through stuff, bro, like you don't realize what you're going through, right? You're like, I don't want to be in this situation. It's terrible.
right,
Once that situation is over, once you figure it out, there's always a lesson after that situation is over. And for me, it's like, like I'm waiting for my lesson. I'm waiting for me to like learn from the situation. Like I said, I don't know what's that going to be like, but I know there's going to be something out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
That's real, because at the end of the day, like, and I think this is where grace comes in. You know what I'm saying? Where you have to learn how to have more grace for yourself.
Right.
And when these situations come, and I feel like the more that you go through, the
Right.
more that you take on, the better you'll start understanding how to have grace, giving yourself grace,
Right.
give yourself patience,
Right.
and time through a situation that will help you get through it, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is that it's uncharted territory for you. And
Right.
that's why you're feeling that way.
Right.
It's completely different. You don't know it. You're unfamiliar with it.
Right.
Everything, and you're like, okay, what's going to happen next?
Right.
What's next? What's next? You know. And the thing is that you got to pull
Right.
back,
Right.
and you know what? I'm gonna put my hands up.
Right.
I'm going to chill.
Right.
Find your place of
Right.
meditation. Find your place of where you can center yourself,
Right.
and allow the universe to have its way. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, and everything is gonna be good with you,
Right.
man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy, man. But it's hard though,
I
because like
know.
my girl was saying, like she was saying everything happened for a reason, bro. To be honest, I cannot find that reason. Why? I like why the
and,
summertime.
that, and,
Like,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And sometimes I don't even think that you're supposed to.
right.
There's some
Yeah,
things that happen in your life that like I don't even think that you ever figure out what was
Right.
the reason of that.
Right.
Right.
no,
You know what I'm saying? You might just not ever figure it out, bro. So
yeah.
I feel that.
Well, that's a good point that you brought up, and I just want to share my story. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
But
it.
More power to you on that,
that's
man.
road to recovery, though. That's what we are manifesting. So,
Right. Right.
Come on, man.
so something that you haven't touched on yet, but like, we talked next big moves and all that looks like in keynote speakers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. Another thing that I wanted to touch on, what's up with this acting career, man? I seen you out here on like what was it, the Hell Day episode and some other stuff like that. What's up with
Break that.
man?
Break that.
Is Drunk Nasty becoming an actor? Like, what's
Oh
up?
man.
Like, hold up.
All right. All
Got you,
right.
DG.
All right. Hold on. Now I'm gonna give you all the backstory to this, because I think acting is definitely a part of my DNA, and it was something that I did not embrace. But my grandmother, dude, which shout out to my grandmother, she turned 90.
Wow.
I did her birthday party, played at it. It was a blessing. But that
Shout out to
same lady,
grandma.
shout out to Grams,
Right.
straight up.
Yeah.
But that same lady got some crazy idea, talked to my mom, and was like, "Hey, let's take Jeremy to an audition so he can act." And because their whole thing was, I told a lot of stories. When adults back in the day, when they say stories, that means you be lying
You
or you
lying.
be capping.
You was telling
Like,
stories.
That would be
You was
you
telling
be
stories.
capping.
man.
Yeah.
That's
So
Facts, too.
they were all to bring it to the new terminology of the day. They will always just catch me
Right.
capping. You know what I'm saying? So they be like,
That boy was
they be
King
like, yeah,
Kappa.
they be
You know
like,
what I'm saying?
man, you doing all this right now. You be drama. You just full of drama. So we gonna put you in an acting situation. So make a long story short, I auditioned for a Lawrence Fishburne film. This was, I think I was like 9 or 10 years old, man. So when I went to the audition, I didn't know what I was doing. They were just like, just read the script and go into character. You're a natural.
yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, this is frightening to me. You put me in front of all these white people. So anyway,
So I'm frightened. I'm not a
I
natural.
was frightened. So I got the script.
Oh,
So
oh man.
I got this script, and my grandmother was like, oh, she got this another crazy idea. She said, we're gonna make you look like the character. So she did my makeup, all that stuff. I was supposed to be a homeless boy and everything. So she hooked me up, gave me ripped up my shirt, made it dirty, all like did the whole shebang. Dude, I went in front of those people, man. I didn't choke, but it was like I was shaking like this, and I'm like, okay, read the script. And at that point, I was like, dude, like, am I supposed to do this? Is this supposed to be a part of me? So I knocked it. I knocked it out. I didn't get the part, but I got through it. I got through my stage fright. The producers were like, you know, your son was great, whatever. But we ended up going with somebody else.
Yeah.
That happens. That's Hollywood, right?
Right.
So years later, well, way later, when I hit about, let me see, uh, 2017. So 2017, that's when everything changed. And I got a call from a friend of mine. He's a music producer, and he's also an agent as well. So he calls me. He says, "Hey, man, I got this deal for you to come on set for Criminal Minds, and you just have to act and play drums." So I was like, "Okay, what does that look like?" And he couldn't really explain it to me. He said, "Dude, just come out to LA." And I was like, "Well, I got my family here. I just can't come out, immediately. I got other obligations and everything." He was like, "Dude, just find a way." So at the time when I was married, I talked to my wife about it, and she formulated, helped me, and we were able to go. Now, we did not have any funding. I was not paid anything, so I went out on my own dime,
Yeah.
and like straight out on faith. I'm like, okay, this can be both. I've been in bogus situations like that, where it's like, okay, somebody promised me something, and it's going to be this, that, and the third, and you get there, and it's not.
Yeah. We've all that in the music industry or any
Right. So I was like, what do I got to lose? I'll just go see my mama. So we had that conversation, left, got to the studios. We were at I think it was Paramount Pictures, and I get there, and they say, "Hey, can you go set up your buckets and all that stuff and everything? We want like more of a street type feel, type rhythmic thing, or blah 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 blah, whatever they were trying to say." And so I was like, "Okay, that's cool. I can do that." So I set up my stuff in the area. The producers were bringing out chairs. It was like 3 white chairs, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So the cast of Criminal Minds all showed up. The producers and the director of the show showed up and sat their ass right there like it was an audition. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, "Dang, I'm on spot." Here's where the stage fright came in. And I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for a while now, but I was back to like a 8 or a 9 at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude,
that's a big opportunity. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, if I mess up, that's
Yeah.
it. So prior to all this, the director says, "Hey man, this looks good. I like your setup." He says, "Whatever you do, just make sure, you do your thing, be you. The last people that we've auditioned, they're not that good." So now I'm sitting here like, okay, what did they sound like? You know what I'm saying? So, dude, I sat down and
Sorry for cutting off, brother.
yeah.
Just want to let y'all know I'm about to be hopping off. But yeah, it's nice meeting
I
you,
know you
Hey
bro,
said you had to
man.
cut out a little bit early. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, D,
Yeah, I'll catch y'all later.
All right,
for
boy.
What's
sure.
All
that?
right.
We'll holler at you
All
later.
right. For sure.
Diamond member.
Diamond member. Yeah, man. So, y'all can hear me? Y'all good?
Yeah.
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah. So, pretty much, I went ahead and knocked it out. Uh, got into my zone, and the director got up. He said, "You're hired." He said, I want this guy right here. Like he's it." So for me to experience that on that level, that was different. And I was like, wow. So they gave me my own trailer, same day, my own trailer, my own everything. I had access to whatever food I wanted to get, all that stuff, I had my own running guy and running girl. You know what I'm saying? Like it was different. And then they put my name with the star and all that stuff and everything on my what is it called? Oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. Um what is it? Like I pretty much have my own green room in a sense,
Oh,
That's fine.
Yeah. So um dude, I went on set. It was supposed to be in New York. So they picked an area in LA that looks just like
That
New York.
look like New York. Yeah, yeah.
This is what they do. A lot of times it's not there in the city of what you think it is. They film right in your own city,
Yeah.
you know. And I'll be like, dang, they just catch certain shots and everything that looks like the other city. So they had me at a corner, and they were like, okay, we need you to do X, Y, and Z, create a track. So I'm like, okay, so I had to create a track of drumming, and I did probably about like 10 different tracks. You know what I'm saying? Right there on the spot. Dude, let me tell you something, man. The people that were there on set, like that were actually in the show, prior to that, they were not very nice. They weren't very accommodating or anything like that. They were just very stuck up in their zone. When I did my set, they all came over and they were looking. I'm talking about some of the stars of the show, and they were looking and they were blown away. Like they've never seen that before, and they were just like, "Oh my god, dude!" When I got off of that, they were treating me like a king, bro. It was unbelievable. And to me, I was like, this is how people are. This is how people are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the world we live in.
Yep.
And I think after that day, I came to conclusion in my life that this is how people
Yeah.
are. I'm not going to ever have expectations for or high expectations for people and how they act, you know, because people can change up just like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It can be nice in your face, but once you look bad or something looks wrong with you, they change their whole perception about you.
Yep.
And then it could change
The
again
opposite.
once you're looking
Yeah.
like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know the science now. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
So that part no longer affects me ever again. It just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so anyway, um, when I knocked that whole segment out, it took a few hours and everything, and they just ended up dedicating that whole segment to me. And so I was on season 12, episode 18. It's called Hell's Kitchen for Criminal Minds. So if you go watch it, it's just gonna show up in my paycheck. You know, my
That's fire,
royalty.
man. Where can we find it?
So you can go to Paramount if you have the app.
Yep.
Download it and just pull up. It's called Criminal Minds Evolution.
Yeah.
So that's all this series is of Criminal Minds from the beginning all the way to the end. So, and it doesn't matter. Like even it was streaming online heavy, and then it went back on TV and syndication, and then it's on like 2 or 3 different apps. You know what I'm saying? So it's always like in syndication somewhere and everything. So
Oh.
like once I don't see a royalty check anymore, then I'm like, okay, the show must like it's not it's not in syndication. So,
Now that's
but
fire,
yeah, man.
man.
Yeah.
It's dope that you said something that always connects to something that Ray told me.
Mhm.
You know, he told we was at this open mic, right? And you know, when people don't know who you are, they don't know who you are. They don't know they treat you however in the
Right.
beginning. But he always would tell me, he was just like, when I rap, it's like when I freestyle, that's my business card.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds like the same thing. It's like when people see you in your element sometimes,
Right.
that's enough to like, you know what I mean, break all barriers. Like, oh, I see what this is. You know what I mean? I see that this is true talent,
Right.
man. So, you know, so that's just that goes to just say, man, that, you know, and sometimes when you in these rooms, you
Mhm.
gotta show them your business card. You know what I
That's true.
mean?
That's
Well, no
true.
matter what that is for everybody out there, you know what I mean? Show them your
Right.
business card sometimes, man.
Like I've learned that
Mm-hmm.
confidence, like you know, you really have to. To me, you can't. Well, I'll put it like this: there's a difference between being too humble and being humble, and then also being overconfident and confident. I know that sounds very simplistic, but if I broke it down, to me, I feel like you know, through your humility, there should be a confidence where people. It's not so much you're demanding respect, but your energy and how you display yourself sets up for people to automatically respect what you're doing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
That's a
In a
fact.
sense. And that is so important. And so I've learned because I used to be the guy that'd be like, oh, And when people are like, oh man, you're great, you're the dopest thing since sliced bread, and all this stuff and everything. I'll be like, nah, no, I'm not. Nah, no, 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 no. I'll do this. No, 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 no. Like that. Instead of saying, you know what, I am. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. I don't have to take it to the head, but I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Because that should be a reflection of myself. That's how I should feel about myself. I shouldn't take anybody to tell me that I'm great. I should know that I'm great myself. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? So when you have that intuitive part solid about yourself, you're undefeated. No, and it doesn't matter if somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, dude, you suck," or "You're terrible," or "You're blah 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 blah." Okay, that's your opinion.
Yeah,
I can't
Yeah,
expect the whole world to love me and like me and
yeah.
all that stuff and everything. But guess what, buddy? I love myself. Do you?
yep,
You know,
See,
like,
to connect that one more time too, man, with something you were saying earlier about like with street performing,
mm,
that's like the ultimate confidence builder. It, like belief in self is
right.
you. It's just you going out there with nothing else and just you out there.
Exactly.
yeah,
That has to have like the most confidence that I could think of, really.
Yeah.
It's just like there's nobody, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times there's nobody else with you.
Hmm.
You don't know the people out there. It's just you with your setup, and it's like I'm gonna make something happen out of this. That's
Right.
like the ultimate belief in self, man. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure that helped build a lot of self confidence too, man. And a lot of people that act confident
Hmm.
couldn't do something like that, you
Right.
know what I mean? Or really aren't confident, they just portray it, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's
And
important to, like you said, to
I tell, I,
love yourself.
I tell people, I say, dude, if you really, as a musician, if you really want to test, who you are, go out there, set your stuff up, dude. I know cats that play for a lot of big artists and everything, and they've tried to go out and set up their stuff and try to do the street performing, and they quit same day.
hmm
Yeah,
They couldn't do it. I've had, I can name people right now that I won't, but that literally I've talked to, and I'm like, hey man, do you want to try this? I'll give them the drumsticks. I'm like, dude, I respect what you do. Do whatever. It could be another drummer that is on a higher platform than I am at the moment, and I'll say, hey man, try it out. Nope, nope. Every time, nope,
yeah,
nope, nope, nope. And I'm just like, dude, like this is art. It's dope. But it's just a simple fact that they don't want to look a certain way. They don't want to look
yeah,
like an idiot or a
yep,
fool and all that stuff. And they're so concerned about, okay, what people are thinking about them instead of just enjoying the time. Just saying, hey, I love this art so much, it doesn't matter what other people think.
yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead
yeah,
and sit down. So to me, that showed me that I'm on another level than a lot of these cats. And when I say that, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm just saying mentally, as far as me not being limited to, oh, this is all I can do, is me playing in front of a crowd of people that are coming to see me and everything and know about me. And that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to stay in that box and I'm going to go to different cities and all that. Like, I'm more than that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, my energy is not, it is not limited to anybody. It's available for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I really learn how to walk confidently doing this so much in my life, man. And I'm so grateful for it and everything. It's really chiseled my personality. It's made me a better person.
yep,
It's given me patience. I've learned so much patience in street performing and everything, and learning how to deal with people. I've dealt with drunks. I've dealt with. I've been in fights. I mean, we didn't touch on that, but I gotten into a few fights and everything where I had to protect myself. You know, and that humbled me and everything, dealing with that. And not, I I think for me it's just understanding that, you know I attracted those situations no matter what, and I had to take account, even if it wasn't my fault. I
yeah,
still had to take accountability for it, because some way somehow I attracted that.
hmm
And so that I'm saying that because a lot of people might disagree with me and say, "Dang, that's crazy." Well, if you didn't do anything and a person came to harm you, some way, somehow, that's what they decided to do, not you. You're the victim. Nah, I don't want to be in that victim mindset. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to figure out, okay, how did this happen? How did this situation occur? How did I attract this? Some way, somehow. Did I do something in the past? Like did I like I'm gonna question,
Mhm.
myself and everything and get down to the bottom of the situation and everything. Because the thing is that if I need to take accountability for it, I'm going to take accountability for it. Because accountability is growth. That's your next level of growth. And a lot of people don't understand that. And that's why a lot of people don't like accountability and everything. It's going to grow you. It's going to push you to that next level, and you won't have to deal with what you were dealing with before. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
Yeah. It's always easier to say you should be doing something than I should be doing something. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's always easier. I know that's one of Z's very words is accountability, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gonna make it happen or you gonna make excuses, what Z always used to say, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's a fact, brother.
No,
There's one last piece that
absolutely.
I want to hit on. I know you probably got to cut out here in a
Oh,
second. So we
I
probably gonna
actually
cut
don't.
cut.
I
Oh,
got
you don't
everything.
got this now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
The last big thing though that I wanted to hit on, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, is like nobody really sees the behind the scenes of like what you could make street performing, right? So there's
Hmm.
no like level of what they think, like you said, you could go out there and you can make zero, but you could have a hell of a day one day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you could have more money than most people have made in any one day of their life. You could have that day too.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
talk about that a little bit as far as like, you know what I mean? The other side of like what
Okay.
you could actually bring in. And we ain't got, and like I said,
Yep.
we don't got to touch on your
Pop the
pocket
collar on this
specifically,
one.
but pop the
Got pop
collar,
the
man.
collar
Pop,
on this one.
pop the shit a little bit, man. Let them know like how much how much can you actually make street performing? Because I know
Okay.
there's a stigma on it.
All right. Y'all want the okay. Y'all want the big money or the little money? Like what you want first? Like
Give me the. Well, you taught us the little one already. You went one time and
I
played for
did.
4 hours and got zero
I got
dollars,
$0.
right?
Yeah.
Now let's show that other
Okay.
side real quick.
Decide. Okay. So when I first started out with Darion, when I was playing with him, of course we had to split it, right? 50-50.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll go out, hit a game, you know, we'll make probably about roughly maybe like three, maybe 400,
Mm-hmm.
in a matter of like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, with a let out. And this is
25
when,
minutes.
yeah, and this is when I realized like let outs, I never knew anything about that. And I saw this dude go set up in the middle of a crowd of people that are just oncoming traffic, and you think that okay, people are going to trample over him. No, they just move out the way. But they it's almost like you're forcing them to see your talent. You're forcing them.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to see me right now.
Right.
You're going to see me perform and play, and you're going to like it. Either you're going to like it or you're not going to like it, and you're going
But
to
you're
pay
gonna
me.
see it
You know what
though.
I'm saying? You're going to see it. So if you do the ratio, right, at least one person out of 10, right, they're going to tip
It's
you.
gonna probably tip you.
And
Yeah.
if you're really good,
Is that a good ratio of
if
how it usually is?
that, yeah, that's how I see it. If you're really good, they'll tip you really good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
there's always going to be a bigger number of people that don't tip you versus the people that
Yeah.
do.
For
So,
sure.
Absolutely.
and I used to think this in my mind. I said, "Dang, ooh, 75,000 people coming out of the stadium. Think about it, $1 per person. What is that? $75,000, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's that's impossible
Yeah.
because not everybody's coming your way.
Ab-
Not everybody's going to come to you. You know what I'm saying? At least majority of the percentage of those people are not going to even catch you. You know what I'm saying? So you might get maybe what 25, maybe 20%
Mm-hmm.
of those people that come your way,
Maybe.
and
Yeah.
yeah, maybe, right? And then there's a portion of those people that won't see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you might get out of that probably like 5,000 people, and then there's going to be people that don't like you. They're going to be looking at you like,
Yeah.
dude, you suck, or you're terrible. Why are you playing? You're loud. Oh my God. You got people walking like this, closing their
Yeah.
ears,
I'm sure. I've seen that
you know.
Yeah.
before. Just
And I'm
overly
like,
dramatic.
God,
Like, can't, come on, man.
what is he doing?
Relax.
You know,
It's not.
I've heard everything under the sun. Oh my God. And you just got to play through it. Stay focused. So anyway, answer your question. So like a split situation, it'll be like maybe like, 200 piece. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So
In
200
the
piece,
course
but
of like an hour, like 20 minutes, you said. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And so that's why, like, when you hit let out situations, you get a bigger number, and then you go to another let out situation. So the way how you build your schedule is you say, okay, this day is offering this business, say like for me in Vegas, like the T-Mobile Arena, they have a hockey game going on. Okay, I can go hit that let out. The strip has general traffic. Okay, that's cool. I can make X, Y, and Z around this time from this time, and that's going to give me this amount. And then you say, hey, I'm going to hit the big spear. U2 is
Yeah.
in town. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I'm gonna go hit that, and I'm at least gonna make the minimum of $100 out of those
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you add all that up, you walking away with a decent bucket. It's three, four
Yeah.
hundred dollars. For your
Yeah.
day, that's pretty good, right? Compared to the average worker, they're making
Yeah.
20. No, they're not even making, the average worker is not even making 20 an hour.
Probably
It's probably like
15, maybe
probably
10, maybe
15, right? and
13 or
and
something. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
And this is not, anybody that's watching, this is not to discourage you in any
Nah, and
kind of
it's not
way. It's
about
just,
that because we know
yeah,
what people make. I just wanted to show another side because a lot of people don't think that you could make more street performing than they would do at a regular job.
right.
That's why
And
I wanted to show this other side of it. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I'm glad that you did, because, and I want to say this, um a lot of people see it. They'll walk by, they'll see like a bucket full of money,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, oh snap, I can do that too, man. Let me quit my job and go do my talent and all that stuff and everything. Dude, oh my God, bruh, I'm taking my glasses off for this one, because it got real. Bruh, I'm gonna tell you something. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been playing music for a long time. I've put in over 10,000 hours of practice. They say that if you do about 10,000 hours, you've mastered a
Crap.
concept or a craft. Yes, I've done well over 10,000 hours.
Easy.
And when it comes to that, take it serious. So people respect it differently in how you perform and how you do things, and how, like, it's not about just playing, it's about connecting with the people. You got to connect with the people. Even when there's a bunch of people coming out of the stadium like that, you got to connect with them. You know what I'm saying? You got to make eye contact with them. You got to smile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
putting
You got to you got
you
to
give them
you
that
got to get,
Colgate smile.
yeah, you got to get people in the groove, Hey,
Yeah.
so if I'm doing like do 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 do, and I'm just like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are ready, say yeah. Everybody's like, yeah. Everybody say, oh yeah, oh yeah, say oh yeah, oh yeah. Now scream. You know what I'm saying? You get, what up, Ray?
Man, what's poppin'?
Man, what's up, boy? He always come in on the crazy stuff.
Man,
What up, man?
you can finish. I was enjoying it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Enjoying it.
But no, that's straight up. Like, you have to engage the crowd, and people don't think, they just see money. They could go to Ray's bucket and be like, yo, he got a stack full of money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and start freestyling, or I'm gonna go out and start. No. It's not even freestyle, because not everybody can do that. They'll go out and try to mimic a song from Tupac or Biggie or something like that, and get their mic and get their speaker, and go out and try to just rap lyrics and think that they're gonna get paid, and nobody will drop a dollar in their bucket,
Yeah.
because it's not original, it's not coming from here. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, people are not gonna respect that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to position yourself to learn the craft. learn the ins and outs of it, learn the people, learn who you're dealing with, learn who's in front of you. And you got to do it quick and fast. And the more you do it, the better the money is. You know, the better everything will be and
Yeah.
everything. But you have to put yourself out there. And to me, there's a thing that scared, I think I heard this phrase. It says, scared money makes
Don't
no
make no
money or
money.
something like that. Don't make no
Scared
money.
money don't make no
Don't
money.
make no money. And this is what I was telling you. I was like, yo, there are musicians that I know. Well, I was telling you before that they will go set up. They're good at their craft. They can play on stages in front of 100,000 people and slam it. But they'll try to go on the street and do the same thing, and they don't get any results
Yeah.
at all whatsoever. You know why? Because of fear. Because of it's testing them. People are not expecting them. There's no like they're not saying, "Hey, I'm coming to see Justin Bieber or Usher and the band and everything." So these are just random people. And when people are not praising you and they're not doing all of the stuff that you're used to and everything, it takes you out of your zone. Now you're left by yourself. You're left by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I didn't mean to go out of pocket and everything, but that's kind of like in a sense, you know, what it will look like for like let outs and everything from what I was talking about before.
Yeah.
I would definitely say, you know, you can reach the 6-figure range easy. You
So you're
know,
saying you can make six
just
figures street performer just, for people that just
easy,
came in. Yeah, yeah,
easy,
yeah. You say easy, that's like
easy.
that's a real possibility.
It's
How
real.
much would you think that you have how much would you think you would have to work to hit that number? Like how many
Um,
days a week would you think you would work to?
I would I would say at least about 5 days a week minimum.
Yeah.
And
At
then how
least
many
about
hours do
five.
you work when you go
Oh,
out there?
okay, so when I got to tell this part of the story. When I came out here to Vegas, everything changed for me. You know, I separated from Darion. I said, hey, I want to start doing my own thing, and the reason why I started doing my own thing was I used to just find myself teaming up with certain cats and everything, and I was like, okay, teamwork, it works for me, but when certain people are not dependable and they're not showing up and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and you're depending on them to make a living,
Mhm.
and your life is on the line, you find out real quick that people don't meet the bar. They don't follow suit
Hmm.
and everything the way that you may follow suit. So I had to separate myself, and not no disrespect to Darian. Darian is he ended up like moving and everything, but I just had to go my separate way. But it was for the good because it put me in a position to say, hey, okay, you are more well than capable to do this on your own and everything. And so when that happened, my funds went up. You know what I'm saying? Now
Hmm.
I'm no
Because there's no
longer
split. Yeah,
playing with.
there's no split
There's
no
no
more,
split.
huh?
No, like absolutely no split, man. You know, and so at first in 2012 to 2013, that's when change started to happen for me. So I'll be out on the strip doing my thing, minding my own business. You know, I had this guy, his name was Joshua Rodriguez. He came up to me and he was like, yo, man, I'm from Boston. I see, you know, you're drumming, you're really good. He was like, this is what I do in Boston. He's another drummer. And he had pots and pans and bells and all that stuff and everything and stuff that I never seen before. So he says, look, man, I want to give you my setup. And he says, you're so good. I want to see what ideas you could pull out. So let's make a trade. He says,
Mm.
I'm going to give you my setup and let me see what you can do. And I'm going to steal your ideas. So I know. Because the thing was he was so limited. Like I had technical training. You know, I had so much training that a lot of these guys never had before. They're just playing off of being natural and everything. Me, I'm natural and I got the technical training. I can read, I can do a lot more than these guys. So I said, okay, cool. I didn't realize that when I took on that setup, it expanded my show, man. It expanded everything. It expanded the people that would come up to me to come see me. More people would stop because what I was playing was way more interesting. It was way more original. Of course, it wasn't mine, you know what I'm saying? But it looks original and everything. It's different. It's stuff that people use up under the kitchen sink all the time. So they're like,
Yeah.
how is this guy getting these sounds out of these pots and pans? So people, when they hear that and they hear the mechanics of it sounding musical, they're like, easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then here's the kicker. Um, when I start working with the breakdancers, which I was talking about earlier, I got a chance to work with them, and they taught me how to do shows. This is the reason why Ray, well, and I'm not putting him out there, but Ray learned from me. He learned from some of the break dancers in New Orleans and everything, how to engage the crowd. Dude, they're masters, bro. The break dancers,
Mm-hmm.
they are masters at engaging the crowd. I would see them literally make about 3 bands in one show. Although,
That's insane.
they got like 10 dudes on their crew, so
Yeah.
they got to split that up and everything. But that's one show,
Yeah.
3 bands.
Nah,
So, dude,
them
that
boys, I
changed.
seen a couple of them shows. Them boys be engaging, but they come on. You know what I'm
Engaged,
saying? They be gathering people around, and you know what I'm
right?
saying? They really, you know what I
Yep.
mean? They really get to it.
So I
They really put
was
on the
like,
show.
exactly. No, you're right. And so when I got to work with the breakdancers, I learned their whole show, like naturally. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't trying to. I just naturally learned it because I like being there. Everybody was on one accord. Everybody was about that paper. It was about their business. They were all having fun, and I was vibrating on that level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm learning the mechanics. I'm learning how to talk to people. They had me calling out certain things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, showtime. Let's go. Here we go. They doing their thing. Ooh, break dance and all that stuff and everything. You know what I'm saying? Getting the people riled up and everything. Like, it's an energy thing.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
such an energy thing. And I'm like, yo. So I took that concept and I said, I can do my own shows. I can do my own thing.
Yeah,
Not saying like I don't need them, but I don't. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It all branched me out to be able to step out on my own and create my own experience and to be able to give it to the people. So now when I see a crowd of people, it's it's to me it's natural territory for me. I know it. No matter if
yeah,
they're sitting in a stadium, if they're sitting in an auditorium, if they're sitting outside, if we're at the park or whatever, I can engage any crowd. Even with me not playing drums, I can engage any crowd.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And get them hyped and everything.
Yeah.
And the reason why I can do that is because they can feel my process. And this is where I want to go with this, is because my process demands the crowd. My process literally controls the energy, you know what I'm saying, of the crowd. My process. If you look at DMX, I think Jay-Z was
facts.
talking about when they were on tour
I
together, and he
seen
said,
that.
"Dude, you saw that? Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay." So I don't need to explain that, but the proof is in the pudding. That man's energy was just ridiculous. And when he got done, Jay-Z was like, "How can I go on after this?
how
Like,
you follow that?
Yeah.
what am I going to possibly do after that?" You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So that was the moneymaker for me. So anyway, when I started doing shows 2014, I hit my first 6 figures for that year. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fire, man.
All right.
And
It,
I was hitting like $500-600 a day, even on a
Yeah.
Monday, because you'd think that on the weekend, it would be way better because it's more people in town, all that stuff. Sometimes a Monday can be better than a Saturday,
yeah,
or a
right.
Tuesday can be better than a Friday. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So it when now here's the other kicker. I didn't know how to handle that or manage that money. I wasn't ready for it.
yeah.
I was
That's
not
another
ready
big
for it.
piece, right?
Yep.
With
That's
it coming
another.
that fast in cash and stuff,
Yep.
it's easy to go out just as fast, huh?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. I did not know how to handle that. And I mean that's one thing. I mean, of course I wouldn't try to go back in the past and change it because that would change everything else.
Yeah, yeah,
But that's one thing I had to learn is money management. Um, Dude, I mean, I had a 2-year-old child, my first baby girl, you know what I'm saying? So, and, I would just go out every night, dinner.
Yeah.
Where y'all want to go? All right, hey,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but I wouldn't change that because I never got to experience life on another level. And when I say that, going to expensive restaurants, just experiencing different things and everything, um, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm in a place where, you know, if I say, hey, I want to go make $500-600, I know what I need to do to
Yeah.
go make it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's not a thing where I'm depending on the energy of the day, of the people, or the day of the week, and all that stuff and everything. If I put my mind to it, I'm going to attain it. You know what I'm saying? So,
In your opinion,
um,
man, what's the best cities to street perform in? Give me a top three. We're gonna put you on the spot. That's gonna yeah.
ooh,
We're gonna put you on the spot.
ooh,
Top three
top
cities to
three.
street perform in.
Mm. From my experience, right?
Yeah, yeah,
What
Yeah.
up, Ray?
yeah. This person all
Oh, he back.
personal.
He
Personal
back. He
question.
back. Okay. Um, that's a really, really good question, man. Okay. All right. So Vegas is one of them.
Vegas,
Vegas, um, New Orleans,
New Orleans.
Okay.
yes, and oh man, this is a hard one. It's it's a split between New York and LA.
Gotcha.
It's a split between New York and LA because those cities they're very similar. It's very very similar. But yeah, I'll say those are like my top three in a sense.
Would you agree, Ray? We got you popped in. Top three cities to busk in.
Yeah, that I experienced so far, I don't know, man.
You wouldn't agree? He said Vegas. He said Vegas, New Orleans, and then a split between LA and New York. Is that agreeable?
Mm, I don't know. Because New Orleans, you going to have to elaborate why you think New Orleans
Well, I
and
think
Vegas, man.
I think New Orleans. See, New Orleans, I was able to do what I can do in Vegas, but it was a different setting though. See, New Orleans, like you can go out. I think this is where I learned how to um, hit different places at certain times. That's what New Orleans gives you. Like, so you can go to Jackson Square in the morning in front of the church and hit that for like 2-3 hours, right? Walk away with like maybe like 250, 300, right? And then, you got the night shift. You can go hit that where they got bourbon and then they got Canal, certain corners and everything, and you getting that night crowd. That's another 300. You know what I'm saying? So, or you can go hit middle of the day at some function. Maybe they may have an event that's happening out there. It could be a festival or something, and you can go hit that. So this is where I
Yeah.
actually started learning how to hit different spots. Because in Vegas, I wasn't doing that. I
Hmm.
wasn't doing what I was doing in New Orleans and Vegas. Vegas was just like, hey, go hit at a certain spot that you got used to and become territorial. That's my spot and everything. And it was like if anybody tried to play at the spot, we fighting. We
Yeah.
fighting. That's how it was. It was that serious. And we'll go fight in the alley. We'll go fight in the back.
The
We'll
winner
go fight
winner
for the
takes
spot.
the winner takes the spot.
Yeah, winner takes spot. And I never lost. I never lost. I can
Once
tell
you
you
play the
that.
He said
game,
I
I
ain't.
never
way
lost.
different, dog.
He
I
said I
never
ain't lost
lost.
a fight or my spot. You know what
Nope.
I'm saying?
Nope.
I'm like, I don't, yeah, because New Orleans real aggressive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, New Orleans is good when you first starting out. I think because it's low key and you can train and you can get better. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like a video game. Like New Orleans is the place you go for like level one. But I wouldn't say it's like the best experience for me. It's like New Orleans, you can just go to the strip every single day. You know what I'm saying? So like you have the luxury of just going outside and it's people that's walking by and you can perform on a consistent basis. You could set your schedule. You feel me? But at the same token, it's not like once you get past that, I think it's just for a certain level. LA is anything can happen in LA though, and it all depends. I put it like this: it all depends on who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because like in LA, for me, I think I can get more out of LA because of who I'm connected to and what I've done, right? But say somebody who just starting out, I would recommend them to kind of stay like in New Orleans for a little bit. Cause starting
You got to
in
start on
another
level
or
one. You got to be on level one first, huh?
yeah, it's not like cause Phoenix different, man. I don't think I would have did well in Phoenix had I had not played in New Orleans or
Hmm.
Vegas. I think Vegas might be a good place to start out, but I think it's different though because New York was rough, bro.
Yeah.
But I didn't really figure out New York though. I was only up there for like maybe 3, 4 days, and then I went back for like another 3, 4 days. So I haven't
Hmm.
stayed long enough to like assess how well you could do in New York.
Yeah.
Right.
Um, and it's grimy though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Very grimy.
it's
Very grimy.
grimy. It's dog eat dog. New York is very like
Yeah.
closed in. It's tight. It's tiring. The city, the subway can wear you down. You got to move your stuff. Like even if you travel, you like constantly dealing with energy even outside of the like. But that part of the game teach you how to like have grit. Cause I would like if you start in New York, one thing you're gonna have is grit and resolve, and you're gonna be a little bit more refined and resilient, right? You're gonna be able to um, see people for what they are a little clearer. I think New Orleans gives you that access. Like I granted vision and discernment in New Orleans. I learned how to read people really well,
Right.
and so I'm able to deliver a certain type of music. But as far as like Phoenix is like way more calculated. You have to be way more strategic here, and you got to get the
Yeah.
most out of your time. Because if not, you can lose really quick. Like Phoenix
Yeah.
could be a $800 day or a $5 day with busking, depending on who you
Jeez.
like. Like is that, and with that type of,
Fluctuation.
it's like that could scare somebody that's not accustomed to taking risks like those. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, but
Hmm.
for me, I think it's perfect. So when you ask the question, are you saying the best place to busk as far as like starting out, or are you saying
Just your personal, I'd say personal, like, because it's,
I love
personal
New
preference.
Orleans? New Orleans is dope, but I don't know. I don't know if there is a best. I think they're just different, and they train different things.
Hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like New Orleans trains discernment and skill. Cause to really be good in New Orleans, you gotta really be good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like actually have something that people want to listen to.
Hmm.
And you actually cause you competing with people that with a 5-year-old that could play the trombone better than a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Plus he's 5. So it's like, dang, he dope. Or you competing with like everybody got like almost a gift of gab. It's that home feeling. The food always good. So you got to really stand out talent wise. Vegas, from what I experienced, they got a strip, and you just got to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? LA, you gotta know different spots around the city. You gotta really study the game beforehand. Like Phoenix and LA, if you study, but they had me at like a cowboy ranch dressing type of event that I gotta play at. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Cowboy
Phoenix
ranch
got it
dressing?
there. Yeah, like it's like a it's like a
Cowboy
I,
variant. You know what
ranch
I'm saying? I
dressing?
done
I, I,
played.
was, I, was, I was trying to find that too. I'm like a cowboy.
Cowboy ranch dressing?
Yeah.
We got going
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
like
they
like
dressing
ranch
like they
dressing
on
or
a
they
ranch.
okay.
You know what
I
I'm
know
saying?
like I thought you were talking about ranch dressing, like what I'm
That's I
saying?
guess that would be
I'm
the
trying to
spin
put
on
it
it, right?
together. I'm trying to put it together, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like is cowboy and ranch dressing or how we
cowboy ranch.
Yeah.
What do we do? What
they
kind of
called you come on, man.
I don't,
Ranch
you know
Ray.
what I'm saying?
Ranch
I don't
Ray,
be
you know what
knowing,
I'm saying?
but Phoenix, like it could. I don't know, man. People out here different. Like, oh, you got dentists. I performed for like a dentist conference, and then I done bust outside of like what's the 9-inch nails? for
Yeah.
their crowd. So, but it's all it all depends on how you look at
Right.
it. I look at it
Yeah.
like it's a challenge. All right, okay. So in this particular situation, I gotta have these things ready in order to get money out of the people. Like I don't never really try to leave there and lose. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
I
Right.
have
Yeah.
to, I
You
gotta,
can't
because
have.
at the end of the day, you trying to make bread. So like you don't want to be wasting your time. You feel me? You gotta really be strategic on how you moving when you out there playing. So like
Mm-hmm.
all of the preparation is necessary, and it just trains different parts of your mind, different parts of your character, and it teaches you how to be aware. And then and busking is just like the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like you played Smash Bros when we was over there, and Steve on here, you played Smash Bros. It's kind of like the video game we was playing, bro. Like you could be
Right.
losing, and then a super happened, and you hit the super, and now you like charged up. You know what I'm saying? And you can make some bread. You feel me? But it's not. It's not a. I don't think the word business does just. It's not a business. It's a game. It's not a business more. So it's like it is like business is a game in a sense, but busking is a game, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a game, and it depends on how good you are at the game. And that's probably, I guess, a life lesson. Like you just gotta. It's certain stuff I could get money at that an average like novice person who started wouldn't be able to make money at, and Bunny can attest to that.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But Bunny that had me out of some wild, you know what I'm saying, like places to bust at, bro. And I had to learn to adapt. I'm like, how we going? Yeah, it's talent too. Of course, you can't be garbage. Well, you can be garbage. Some people be making money on the street garbage, but I wouldn't recommend it. I don't
Right.
think it'll like fare well for you. You can make a career off of it, but you can be garbage if you want to. Since we don't want to offend nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be great, but I would advise you be good because it's advantageous to your crowd. Because when you out there busking, if you suck, they're gonna walk by. Ain't nobody gonna stop listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you got to get good at the game, and you got to learn who the winners are, and you got to study the winners, and you got to do what they do, and then you got to move according to how they move, and then you got to cultivate it around your skill set.
Right.
Because money comes from the jokes and making people comfortable with you. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like people in business like to feel like I'm investing in somebody that's a friend, or I'm investing in somebody I believe, or that's genuine or
Right.
sincere.
Yeah.
You know, those are where those talents come into place. You know, like it's people I ain't never seen before. It could be from Switzerland or Ireland, but they listening to me and like, yo, I like how you put those words together. Let's tip this guy. And you know, people be talking about that and change their whole life in one song. I'm like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to do in a split second. And but I like it, man. If you like that adrenaline rush, if you like that excitement, if you like, you know, navigating and being on your feet and quick thinking like Bunny, and it's parts to the busking game. Like Bunny's a good parker. He knows how to park the car really well.
Come
You know what
on,
I'm
man.
saying? So so like what is
That boy. Nah. That is. We can fit. We can fit, bro. Yeah.
Red.
I'm for real, like, but why that's important because like if you run it late, like it, Bunny will do stuff like parking a clear no parking zone. You know what I'm saying? Like a clear, but he'll scope the situation out and be like, no, we're good here, we're good here. He'll set up, he'll play, and it's like right before anything happen, he can get to his car and get out of it. But it's stuff like that could take $30 away or can add $30, right? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm close. Then you got to get to the spot, bro. That's irritating. But that part like teach you to be aware. So it's like it's mentally challenging, bro, because you always thinking about like I gotta set my weeks up. Like, okay, if I go to Jazz Fest in New Orleans, I gotta figure out who already busking out there already. I got to think about which individual is taking which spot, who feels entitled to a certain spot.
Yeah.
What's
That
the
part.
dangers in the city? Are they
That
shooting a whole
part.
bunch in the city?
That
You know
part.
what I'm saying? I got to be clever with how I move,
Mm.
and then you got to kind of like assess it, and then you got to figure out. People be lying a lot. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like people be telling you can't. Like I had these magicians was like, I just don't think this is a good spot for you, my brother, and did this whole spiel about how
He
justice
said,
could be served in another place. You know what I'm saying?
"Hey, man,
And I'm like, we
they
talking,
gon'
bro.
they said they
You
gonna
know
make
what I'm
something
saying?
else disappear, bro. They mess around, make you
Yeah.
disappear."
But
You know?
But you know how like in an RPG game they got like the note, like you meet people and on your way towards where you're going that's like true mentors. Like they had these. You remember Tanya and Doris, downtown New Orleans? That
Yep.
one played the violin, one
Yep.
played the bro. They was my mentor. Soon I saw they was my mentors, bro. So every time I got a chance to connect with them, they would teach me moves about like how to look at the game. You know, I'd be like, man, y'all got a big crowd. They was like, don't worry about that. They was like, that don't equal to a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you see a lot of people out here, that don't mean that they giving.
Right.
You have to walk away with something. Like that got to be a
Yeah.
goal. Because if not, then you could. But then you got other people like who spectate or who come and watch me perform, like Cuzzo, and you see money in other ways that I can capitalize off on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like people ask me, well, much could you make in busking? That's why I say I don't know, because ASU, did I make that $300-400 that night, or did we make 5, 10,000, 20,000 based off of the viewership that came from somebody that watched the video?
Right.
So I had to be at their place at that time for that to happen. So it's a hard tool to measure, because music is one of those things you can't really say what today's work is going to do and how it's going to pay off. You never know.
That's
Especially
true.
with the
You
social media
honestly
game.
never know.
Especially with the
Yeah.
social media game, it'd be like to take this moment and make another moment out
Right.
of it. Like you said, there's probably 1,000 people that seen y'all at ASU that night, maybe more, maybe 4,000, who knows, right? But there's millions of people that seen that video.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's important to really like,
Crazy.
you
What's
know
up,
what I mean?
OnStar? Yeah, I got to tap
Yeah,
in with
that's important.
OnStar, that boy from New York, man. He be going crazy. He came out there. He busked with me when I was in New York.
I
Fire.
remember
We was in the Bronx.
you was telling me about that.
Busking.
Oh,
Remember you
for
was
real?
telling me
Yeah,
about
Bronx was
that.
crazy. The Bronx was crazy. The Bronx was crazy. The Bronx, they was trying to take my mic for real. You know what I'm saying? They was, it get hectic, boy. But I don't know. Like, go back to the question. I think my personal opinion is like each city teaches something. You got to be willing to accept it for what it is. It ain't really no bad days. You gotta, you gotta understand. Like, it's you at the end. Bunny used to say that, and I'd be like, bro, he'd be like, man, how'd you do? I'd be like, man, it was. I never really say it was difficult, but earlier I'd be like, I don't really understand the crowd. He's like, well, you got to change something about you. I'm like, dang, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. But then as I started to grow and understand it, I'm like, oh, people are always like, we didn't play during World Series losses. That was
Mm,
hard.
mm,
That was
mm.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
was difficult.
You see that?
But at the same token, like, people process different. Like, we still made money out of that. Like, how? Well, some people process problems differently.
Yep.
They process losses differently. So they might win a party and they just tip you $200-300 for just trying to lighten the mood.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people be like, bro, shut up, get off the block. We don't want to hear that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it but
yeah,
it
yeah.
but it come with the
What you so
territory
happy
though.
about? What you so
Yeah.
happy about?
Right.
Yeah.
I,
You
I,
know what I'm
I,
Kind
saying?
of.
Like,
I've had I've had one time I had a guy come up and tip me like $300 or $400. He said, "Hey man, man, you sound great, but can you just be quiet? We're trying to do our thing at this restaurant and
I
thing, blah 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 blah." And I said, "Cool." I said, "Bye." I'll take it. I said, "No problem."
That's
Yeah,
what I
I can do that.
was trying to make. This was what I was trying to make anyway. That's what's
yeah,
up.
yeah.
and
It's but
sometimes you got to get out of there, bro. I remember I was on Bourbon Street, across from Bourbon, because distractions and people like that also a part of the game, and
Mhm.
you got to view it that bro. Some of the wildest stuff be happening. I told Bunny about this. I was on I was on Canal Street, so it's right across from Bourbon. They got like an intersection. It's a four-way intersection. I'm right in front of the CVS. That's where I set up and play. Across the street, they got a preacher outside, telling everybody he going to hell, repent,
Yep.
typical preacher stuff when they evangelize outside. So this dude came up in a thong and started twerking in his face.
That's insane. That's insane. He said,
How do you navigate that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
"Sheesh." Did you rap about it? Did
that
you
was
catch it?
that was crazy.
Was you freestyling while he walked by, or how'd you?
I wasn't set up yet.
I'm
You
crazy.
I
ain't
was like,
pro,
but it's about to be a day. It's about to be a day though.
you ain't provide
It's about to be a day.
you ain't provide
Huh?
the soundtrack. You ain't provide the soundtrack for the moment.
I probably would have. some stuff be man, that was crazy. That was crazy. It ain't a lot of stuff that stopped me from rapping, but that was crazy. That was crazy, bro. He
That's
started
insane.
twerking, bro. And
That's
the preacher was
insane.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like
That's insane.
the devil. You know what I'm saying? He was mad, bro.
Yeah.
But then you like all right, but they
Change this
playing.
whole. You changed this whole. He changed his whole month, brother.
Yeah, yeah, he was devastated because he was mid sentence too. You know, he was
Yeah.
like, and God got, and then dude walked by, bro, and they had an amp, so they put a twerk song on too. It was just the most
That's
candy
crazy.
thing, bro.
That's
And
crazy.
then people was cheering the dude on in the thong, and then you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, bro, what world do we live in, bro?
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so you got all that going on, but at the same time, you supposed to just focus and just perform. So now, but you need that though because it's kind of like you can. It teaches you how to use some of the wildest things and still like I have processed stuff like that and rapped about it simultaneously. I can't remember anything that extreme because Bunny is different than me. Bunny don't have to necessarily communicate verbally, so he can play to certain like stuff like that. Because it's certain stuff like you when it's happening real time like that. I done seen a dude. I was in New Orleans, bro. That's why I say New Orleans be crazy, bro. I was in New Orleans. I was rapping on the street again. I see a dude across the street jump in a taxi after the taxi get out. I guess the taxi cab went to go use the bathroom. Bro jumped in the taxi, hit 7 cars. I swear for God. Got out the
That's crazy.
taxi and ran down the street while I'm playing. And
That's
I'm like, do I
crazy.
say, hey, dude over there that jumped in the car and hit the taxi, he down? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I get involved in that while I'm freestyling? Do I act like that didn't happen? Do I say something because authorities looking for him? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, it be certain circumstances like that. So it's kind of like at any given moment, you just navigating and processing. But I would say sometimes I wish I just had drumsticks and I had a saxophone because I feel like I could not be present as much, and I could like not have to communicate exactly what I see in real time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because everything ain't beautiful. Everything ain't dope. People ain't always nice. And you know what I'm saying? And I think I done slipped up a couple times. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, man, I'm getting. But at the end of the day, though, like, that's the game that we choose to play. That's the lifestyle we choose to live. That's what I wanted to experience. So I take what comes with it, and then I let it build my character and teach me how to navigate. What's poppin'?
That's fire.
Right now.
Well,
And it's
fellas,
crazy. Okay.
my bad, bro. I gotta take this other call, so I'm about to have to hop off here
Yeah,
in a second, man.
Oh my God, we on the live real quick.
yeah, yeah. We're
Yeah,
about
I
to
can't
wrap.
get on the right now.
We we probably about to wrap. You know, we've been on here for a minute here, man. But
Yeah,
I got about to hop on this other call. But nah, Drum Nasty, man. I just want to say I appreciate you, bro, for
appreciate you,
being a
bro.
part of this episode, man. Dropping mad gems on us, man.
Yeah.
Changing a lot of people's perspective on street performing. Ray
Yeah.
tapping in on the same, man. We appreciate y'all, brother.
Thank you for James, but
Yeah,
also
we
saying
might do.
we appreciate.
We gonna have to do these more often, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like just talking, describing, because there's buskers out there that want to get into like the game, bro. And I feel like Dallas in the back, he want to say, hey,
What's up, boy?
what up, Dallas?
What up,
that's
B?
Uncle Money you saying,
I see
What up,
you, man.
baby?
I see
Yes,
you.
sir.
I'll be back to
Yeah.
play you in Smash Bros, brother.
but he gonna be crazy on Smash, bro. I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah,
bro. He be
he was.
yeah,
He got that mind.
yeah.
He got that sauce. He got that sauce.
Yeah, he be
Yeah,
going crazy.
yeah,
He be beating grown men.
they was
He gonna
Nah,
like
he beat me. I'm the grown man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm grown man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
That he be beat. That he be beating. Yeah.
but it was that's the best way I could describe it, bro. It's just like Smash Bros, man.
Parking, bruh.
Mhm. Well, what is
Yeah,
it? I go over there.
we should do a part two.
yeah,
You know.
Yeah,
Facts.
definitely,
Nah,
man.
let's
Bring it
yeah,
back.
let's set that
Yeah.
up, man. Y'all, and to be honest, y'all probably should start like a weekly live. Honestly, just talking about street performing, man. I feel like that would go a long way, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's like a weekly thing. I don't even know if a part two itself would do it justice, man. But y'all two talking about what's the real life of a street performer is like, bro. Just diving into that, man. It's so many things that y'all invited me and Z to get to see some of that live. I get to see it when I'm out with Ray, and then when we took that trip to Vegas, get to really see the behind the scenes in that, and then being able to. I think it was dope to have the different types of minds of us, like how can we connect other things during the real time of this happening, because I know as y'all street perform, there's certain things that you can't do because you're actually performing. So
Yeah,
having another piece there, you know what I mean, I felt like that was dope, man. So we're gonna have to not only do another trip like that, but another episode like that. But I definitely think that's something that y'all should speak on more for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Y'all are, man, y'all are inspiring in many ways. So we appreciate y'all.
Man,
definitely, man.
I thank y'all,
Thank you.
bro. Definitely. I don't want to hold you up, man.
Mhm.
Y'all take care. I wish I hopped in early. I was on the court, boy.
Come on.
Oh,
But
you was out.
crazy, bro. I
Hey,
feel good today, bro.
Diamond member, listen
Diamond
Diamond member.
members.
to
I ain't gonna say I was on diamond member status. I ain't gonna say it was that crazy. It wasn't
You,
that crazy. It
you
was
was on
it
you
was it was
silver member though, huh?
maybe gold.
So,
You know what I'm saying? Maybe gold. Maybe
Facts.
gold. You know what I'm saying? I was getting my buckets. But the
Facts.
dude that we just played a good team.
yeah,
But nah, bro, I would love to do a busking and like have everybody join in, and we got to talk about that Vegas trip more in detail because
That's a fact. That's
it's
worth
so
the
many
episode itself.
all of the videos for everybody watching. Because I would love to have y'all on this. We got to explain. I don't know about the mic though
yeah,
situation.
Bro, we
You
need
know
to
what I'm
do it. We,
saying?
we're gonna do an episode solely about that one time. And that because you working on something, I'm not gonna announce it yet, right?
Oh
But
yeah,
you
it's crazy.
working on something,
yeah.
It's
and I'm
crazy.
not
The
gonna
drop
announce it
about to
because
be
there's gonna
crazy.
be a better place to announce it. But that's worth a whole episode itself, man. So
Mhm.
Yeah, man. So, man, y'all fellas take care. I'm about to get these kids
yeah,
back to the crib,
yes,
bro.
I
sir.
appreciate y'all fellas,
We
man.
appreciate
Appreciate
y'all,
y'all
man.
tapping in, man.
Absolutely,
Right on for right,
absolutely.
right on for every real quick though, man. Everybody who's still on here, follow the page. I'm gonna tag you real quick.
Oh yeah, and then Drum Nasty, tell everybody where they can find you too.
Okay, so you can find me mainly on social media, Instagram, which we are right now. Drum Nasty, that's DRUMNASTY. You guys should be able to see my handle right there. So go ahead and
Yeah,
follow me.
come on, let's go get some ice cream.
I'm very accessible to reach. So you want to send a message, all that stuff. I definitely will reply.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Of
And
course.
I'm out here in
Let's
Vegas
go
as
get some ice
well.
cream.
So this
Come on.
foundational spot where I'm at, where I live, and I perform out here sometimes. Well, not as much as I used to, but I do it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all want to
That's a
catch me
fact.
out here? I'm doing shows out here as well. So just link up with me. That's
Yes,
it.
sir.
Tap in.
Tap, tap in expeditiously.
Expedition.
All right, diamond members.
All
All
right,
right,
Dom.
y'all.
All right.
Oh, you a
Y'all be
diamond
easy, man.
member?
All
What?
right,
Hey,
y'all.
boys. All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Much love.